All right, Clip Rock here with a first-timer joining us today on Pirate Radio Live, the newest WITN employee. He is Dugan Lloyd joining us in Studio C. Dugan, welcome in. How you doing, man?
Clip, it's a pleasure. Look at this place. I mean, state-of-the-art facility and first time on Pirate Radio. So, yeah, good day.
State-of-the-art facility. Instead of funding Shirley and I's NIL, we're putting money into facilities. So, I don't know. We'll see how that works 5 years from now. But, it's awesome around here, and glad you could join us today. Wanted to just kind of get to know you a little bit and obviously talk some sports as well. So, first of all, I get asked quite a bit about my name, Clip, because it's a little weird. It's a nickname. My real name's Clifton, but Dugan, I don't think I know any Dugans. Where's Dugan come from?
Dugan's actually over the pond in Ireland. But the thing is that a lot of people, sometimes if you are Irish, you will kind of call me out on this. Dugan is a last name in Ireland, and my last name, Lloyd, is a first name. So really my name is backwards. If you were in, I don't know, Dublin.
Lloyd Dugan.
Lloyd Dugan makes a little more sense.
That sounds like a movie character name.
Well,
Lloyd Dugan.
Lloyd's been out there. There's some famous Lloyds.
Not quite Lloyd Christmas. My middle name is Lloyd.
Is it?
So there you go.
Okay. And the other thing, I don't know, I think Clip might be a little easier, but whether it's a PA guy in youth football or if you're ordering a coffee and they ask you for your name, I don't know if I've ever seen it either pronounced right or spelled right, which isn't really a them problem. It's more of a me problem. But
when I see it, I see Dugan, honestly.
Yeah.
But maybe you should go O-O. D-O-O-G.
Well, when people ask me for the pronunciation, sometimes I'll just be like, all right, pretend it is double O. But if you think about recent college football, Max Duggan, that's double G. So I like to kind of put the double G folks as Duggan, and I'll claim Dugan because there's not many of us.
Yeah, that's cool. Dugan Lloyd. All right, so where do you hail from, and how did you get to WITN?
I'm born and raised in a little state called Connecticut, right outside of Hartford. I spent 18 years there before a stint at Penn State for 4 more. And then my previous job, I'm moved, I don't know the exact day off the top of my head, but roughly a month ago, I moved from Wheeling, West Virginia, which is about an hour outside of Pittsburgh for folks who didn't know. I didn't know where Wheeling was 3 months before I took the job. But a lot of great people out there. And then I've been in North Carolina for, as I just said, I think a month, roughly, in that range. But yeah, it's been great so far.
I was asking Zach Kaplan, I think, where you're from. And
that's where I met him, yeah.
He said Connecticut, and I said, oh, no, we got Danny Beal behind the scenes here, who's a masshole.
Oh, okay.
Of course, Zach Kaplan. And I said, oh, no, another Patriots, Celtics, Red Sox guy. And Zach said, no, even worse. He's a Cowboys fan.
Yeah.
How did that happen? Look at Danny's face. How'd that happen?
The Cowboys fan's a tough thing because I know you look on paper, we haven't gotten into my other teams yet, but when you see both Cowboys and you see Yankees, you roll your eyes and you go, oh, no. The Cowboys, I think we need a documentary made about the children who were born in the 2000, 2001, 2002, who were born into the Cowboys fandom. My dad was a giant Cowboys fan, and still to this day will text about it, driving, This past Sunday, I think, is a good example there.
I'd love to talk Cowboys football right now.
Yeah, I was going to say, this is a tough day. Not the Lakers, but I guess I'm a Thunder fan, so I guess it's not any better as far as when I was growing up.
You are a Yankees fan? Or you were just using that example?
I am a Yankees fan growing up. Derek Jeter was like the athlete role model. I think it was probably a popular one at that time.
But Danny, don't leave. Come back, Danny.
The way I know no one can see where my hand is. Up top is Cowboys. Yankees are. If baseball's on, I'm going to root for the Yankees. But my fandom is nowhere equal to what it is for the Cowboys, and it's been 23 years of just absolute misery.
And what's Thunder? Just KD and Westbrook or something you were watching?
It was, until I still remember the day, 4th of July, I was at the beach, I just walked out of the ocean, and I hear the news, Kevin Durant to the Warriors, and I didn't think there was any chance of that. I thought maybe the Celtics, maybe DC go home, And I remember just sitting with a towel over my head, crying, trying to hide it for about 2 hours. So that's my worst 4th of July memory. But um,
So
yeah,
what did you grow up a UConn fan or like
yeah.
college sports? What did yeah.
So that was the one thing in Connecticut. You're still grouped into you're in New England, so you should be a Patriots fan. And speaking of, if you are going to school with a bunch of Patriot fans and you root for a team outside of it, it is the absolute worst with the fans who will put on the Gronk, the Edelman, the Brady jersey for the AFC Championship game. And some of them won't watch a game up until that because they just know they're going to get that every single year. I know maybe in your lifetime you've been able to see some Washington NFC Championship games and Super Bowls. I have not in the Cowboy side of things.
Depends on how old you think I am. Now that I think about it, man,
32?
Hey, let's go with it. I respect you more because it would have been easy to be a Patriots fan.
Yeah,
You're winning
right?
Super Bowls every year. You actually chose a team that hasn't done anything in your lifetime.
Thank you. And I stuck with it, too.
So, okay, I'm going to give you some props there.
Do you know how easy it would have been to jump?
Yeah.
3 Super
You
Bowls
literally walk
before
outside
I was 4
and
years old?
Yeah, you're in New England. Yeah, the Washington Redskins Commanders football team have the longest NFC championship drought since the Lions went last year. So that was 1991. I was 9 years old last time they did anything of relevance. So other than last night, baby, we are relevant. That was my Super Bowl.
This is tough timing for me coming on the day after that. It would have been awesome if he pushed that off one more week.
Dugan Lloyd joining us. So, Dugan, how about what did you know about East Carolina before you got here? Anything?
Are we talking about the state or the school?
The school, the athletics, football.
Well, I want to go back to, I'll get to football, but basketball-wise, you just mentioned UConn. Tristan Newton, who at the time I was like, okay, we got some guard from ECU. I didn't know a ton about him, and then he has turned into
Legend.
One of the Connecticut legends of recent memory, up there with some of the other great guards, Shabazz, Kemba. So he, I would say, is one of the early, if I go back a couple of years, what I would have thought of when I thought of ECU. But then kind of coming here, if we're getting back more into the football scene, I wasn't sure what to think when I got here, because obviously a 2-win season last year with a lot of tough expectations coming into this year. I mean, so far, the last 2 weeks obviously have been pretty painful for most Pirate fans, but I'd say an up and down season that still should end in a bowl game, given the schedule and given whatnot. But at the same time, it was kind of, you weren't sure what you were getting into as far as what this football season was going to look like.
Yeah, and of course basketball after that, and then you haven't been here during a baseball season, right?
I have not. No, I'm excited for that.
Obviously a fantastic baseball program, and Danny and company had the guys in regionals, hosting regionals, and that happened before Danny's time, and we think it's going to happen after Danny's time with Cliff Godwin. Can't wait for your the first time Cliff Godwin roasts you. That happens to everybody.
Oh, so yeah? What should I look out for?
Just you asking what you think is a pretty decent question, and him crushing you and crushing your soul about it. So it'll happen to everyone. It still happens to me, and I think Cliff and I are pretty cool. So it'll happen. But that'll be fun, and basketball. We're just waiting on anything positive to happen. Unfortunately, I've been here forever. That is I'm a bit of an outlier. That's the sport I love the most. Like the team I want to succeed the most is ECU basketball. Maybe because I am a sucker for punishment. I don't know, but hoping that can happen. How about as far as area high school football goes? And you came in right at the start of the high school season, right? So you had to get running quick.
Yeah, so my first week was, college-wise, it was week 1 for ECU, but that was actually week 2 of the high school season. So I think I got there that Monday, and that Friday we had to put together a show. And obviously I had a lot of help with me, and everyone who shoots for us, and some help from producing as well has been a huge assistance trying to get up to speed and learn the teams, learn the mascots, learn the pronunciations, everything. And I'm not perfect. I'll definitely say that. If you are a loyal WITN viewer, I've definitely missed a few spellings or pronunciations, which is the big challenge trying to jump markets. And you become so familiar with a West Virginia market and their schools and their coaches, and then overnight it's okay, learn 50 new schools, learn 40 new schools.
Even if you came in during the summer, it
That's
would
the
be
tough
tough.
part, yeah.
And you came in right at the start. The season already started when you got going. So
speaking of, I don't know, were you there that day? Mike Houston's press conference, my first day, kind of the welcome to Greenville moment in my book, at least.
I don't know what happened.
So that was obviously at Dowdy Ficklin Stadium. Town Bank Tower is where the press conference is actually held. I was told Town Bank, and I was told from our station, and it left, and then another left, which is true. But I took a left, and then another left, and I didn't know anything about the stadium. There's no address attached in the email, so I'm thinking, I guess it's this bank? And so I'm pulling in, I'm like, this cannot be it. and then I get corrected, and so I think I was originally 20 minutes early to the bank, which apparently Coach did not want to have his press conference in that Monday. But ended up being about 5 minutes late to the actual press conference, and heard about it for a couple weeks.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. If Mike Houston wins all his games, we'll have a press conference at the bank as he's cashing a big check. But until then, we'll stay at Town Bank Tower. What else? What do you like about Greenville so far?
So far, I think the big thing is, I haven't been here for a winter, but one of the big things was, okay, you don't have to sit through 5-degree mornings and days. So the weather was a big piece, as well as, kind of getting back to an area with the beach. And I think really, I'm in my early mid-20s at the moment, just seeing new parts of the country. I think one thing you notice when you talk to people down here is everyone is way more friendly than they maybe would be if you were in Boston or New York. And I mean, I love Northeasterners as well, but you can kind of tell the different attitudes, and just more willing to talk and wave, and
a lot of waving,
right?
A lot of driving down the road, just
a lot
throw
less,
your hand up.
A lot less honking too, surprisingly, than maybe Massachusetts.
Dugan Lloyd joining us for the first time here on Pirate Radio Live. How has the end zone gone for you so far on Friday nights? Are you hitting your stride yet, or you still got some work to do there?
Well, I think there's always work to be done. If I'm going to use coach speak, we just want to go 1-0 every week.
Sure, there you go. Good week of practice.
Good week of practice. There's some things we can clean up, but we're gonna try to iron those out. No, but to be honest, I'd say the end zone, it's the greatest rush in the worst, but ultimately the best way. As far as there's 1,000 different things coming in the hour, 2 hours, even sometimes 2.5 hours before the show. And at first, it is completely overwhelming. Even though in a different market, I was doing it at a lower responsibility level because I was the number 2 in my previous sports department. But now kind of, trying to learn on the go, and also still having to kind of answer some questions for people trying to figure out their games or where to put things in the show and get used to a new deal. I think that has kind of been the greatest challenge, but we actually said last week, pre-show, I think, was the cleanest, and it wasn't stress-free, but the least amount of stress leading into it. And it seems like we're starting to, you used the word or the phrase, hit your stride. I wouldn't say we've hit it completely yet, but I think it's starting to kind of fall into that groove, and we're starting to kind of make progress every week as far as writing, as far as cutting highlights, as far as communicating. That stuff's all very good. But, of course, now it's going to pour on Friday. So we have another obstacle to tackle like everyone else does in the area.
Yeah, we've had some years where every week it seemed like rain was an issue. So I know it's been a problem a little bit this year so far.
And that's the other thing, is I'm new to Thursday football games, because I'm used to everything being on Friday. At least back in Wheeling it was. And now the introduction of, monitor to make sure if rain pushes from Friday to Thursday, you got to have a plan for that too. So that's also been kind of something to adjust to.
Dugan Lloyd joining us. Dugan, you will be at Dowdy Ficklin Stadium Saturday?
I will. Okay. I will. I think I'm, again, not a meteorologist, but I think we might see some rain for that as well.
Okay.
Is that true? I overheard that this morning, so I can't officially cite that, but...
we always just say it's going to be beautiful, so people will buy tickets and go out there, I guess.
Well, it is going to be beautiful. Depends on your definition.
Yeah. Man, I don't know if does rain help or hurt this ECU football team. Maybe get a good Rajay, like 200-yard rain game or something. Get the ground game going.
I think that could help. Does it
Yeah.
rain a lot in Texas? I feel like no.
Yeah.
I feel like that would maybe be kind of a home field advantage in a way.
There you go.
I mean, maybe obviously the quick starts have been a big thing recently. Maybe not as much of that, but I could see it.
Yeah. Anything else you're looking forward to in the sports world? What's your favorite sport to follow as far as professional or college? Like where do you rank?
Removing, like as a fan, you're saying?
Yeah, just in general.
I'd have to go NFL.
Yeah.
Probably
Okay.
if it went rankings, NFL, college basketball, and then I'd probably put college football and then NBA maybe. I'd say that's probably a general area. I mean, they're all very close up there, but that's kind of
Yeah.
how the sports sphere
Pretty
works out.
similar in that regard. This was the first year I think I was looking forward to college football more than the NFL of my life, just due to the new playoff and the video game.
Yeah.
Got me back into it. I actually play that quite a bit. But man, NFL Sundays, because you got your team, you've got fantasy, now you got legalized gambling, survivor pools,
Yeah.
weekly pools, like I don't just the whole day, red zone, go to the sports bar. It's just I treasure those NFL Sundays.
Have you swayed back towards those NFL Sundays after this past Monday? Are you back totally in on the NFL
Yeah,
over
probably
college?
so. Yeah, at least now it's just week to week because Washington's defense is awful, and hey, maybe we can score 45 a game and win, but
But is the expectation really about this year? I think it's
No.
more just getting something proven that, hey, maybe this guy's going to be around for a decade, which they don't say that often in D.C.
I know I worry about his health. I hope he's doing well today. I do, Danny.
You see that slide yesterday, though?
Yes, I mean dude, we got a quarterback. We have a quarterback, and y'all have a quarterback, and you're paying him that bank you were in the other day. That's it. That's his bank. That's Dak Prescott's.
Dak Tower.
Tactic Tower.
Looking forward
him,
to
CD, maybe Micah soon. It's
Yeah.
not great. And the thing is, when the Cowboys lose, everyone always points the finger at him. The interior defensive line, I think, is the issue because they at the end of last year couldn't stop the run against anyone, and that has been in my opinion, the biggest problem with this year's team.
I love talking Cowboys woes, but we have to go. Dugan, it's nice to meet you. Just wanted to get you on, kind of let our listeners get to know you a little bit, and me myself get to know you, and hopefully we can talk some more down the road, talk some more sports with you. But appreciate you coming in today, and good luck, man.
Thank you, Clip. It's been a pleasure. I look forward to the future.